Potlesknutí na začátku. You asked for it like crazy, you got it. Welcome to the first part of bass singing tips. Hey guys, my name is Tommy P, and for those who don't know me, I'm a 21 years old bass singer, a cappella arranger and performer. I'm also a bass in a vocal group Shot C, link is on the screen, and I finally decided to do this hugely requested series. First of all, I should say I'm not a singing teacher, neither I studied singing on any university. All the tips I'm gonna be offering are based mainly on my own experience and on the experience of other bass singers that I met. This is the first part of this series, and as you can read from the title, we're gonna be covering general tips for bass singing. So let's start. Tip number 1. Be a good singer more than be a bass singer. As my fellow bass Jeff said in his video, which I recommend to all of you, it is much more important to have good general singing skills than to be able to sing really low. As you progress as a singer, you will begin to know your voice more and more. You will be able to stay on pitch more constantly, expand your vocal range high and low, and more importantly, you will find your boundaries. And yes, there are boundaries. I'm gonna answer this right from the start. If you're a tenor and you can't even reach below F2, you will never be able to sing strong, resonant chest low C. Sorry to break it to you, that's the way nature works, not gonna happen. But that doesn't mean you can't sing at all. Focus on your own comfortable range, try to expand it as much as you can, and if you really want to sing those super low notes, try other vocal techniques that will help you at least to hit those notes. But more about that later. So my tip for you is find a vocal coach, join a choir or a band, train at home, take care of your voice, become a good singer. And you don't have to be Lady Gaga or Ivy Kaplan level. Just know your voice and learn how to work with it. Tip number 2. Support and placement. There is not a note you can sing without the air. So logically, more air, stronger note. One of the first goals of every singing student is to reduce the amount of air you're putting out when you sing those strong, resonant notes on both ends of your range. I'm not going to be talking about that today. If you want to learn how to breathe properly, how to save the air for longer phrases, and how to sing those resonant notes without breathing like a drunk maniac, find yourself a vocal coach. Right now, I'm saying, if you're not a professional singer, more support means stronger note. For example, for me, if I want to get out strong resonant D2 for one of my recordings, I take a deep breath through my mouth and put as much support as I can to the note. Something like this. Another thing is placement. The more forward you will place the resonance of your low note, the more amplified will be its harmonic series. And maybe you are now wondering, what are those? Well, there is a lot of science behind it, especially from audio engineering perspective. But if I simplify it, every note you sing is composed of multiple frequencies above the note you're actually singing, that are in a specific ratios to each other and create something you know as timbre. The louder your harmonic series are, the brighter the timbre of your voice is. It also enables you to amplify your other notes in your mid-range or in your high range. Placement is one of the most important things in a professional singing, so if you want to know more about it or you want to get better at it, find a singing teacher who will help you with it. And yeah, if you're interested in subharmonic singing or subharmonic register, there is such a thing as subharmonic series, but they work differently and I will leave that for another time. So again, have a strong support, placement as forward as you can. Tip number 3. Relaxation. When you're singing high, you're producing notes on higher frequencies that are shorter. If you're singing low, you're producing notes on lower frequencies that are longer. So, the longer your vocal cords are, the lower you can sing. Shame is you can't change your body structure. So how this helps? Well, your vocal cords are muscles. And when are your muscles longest? When they are relaxed. Every time you sing low, try to be as relaxed as possible. And not just your neck, your whole upper body area. Try to straighten your arm and clench your fist. You can feel the muscles even on your back moving. That is because your whole body is a complex, connected system. And yeah, it can be pretty hard, for example, when you're singing live and you have a stage fright. Your whole body freezes, you can barely speak, let alone sing low. But that's something you have to work with. I will give you some tips on how to relax before singing. This breathing exercise I learned from my vocal coach, who by the way is an excellent bass. Just straighten up, put your shoulders back, be relaxed. Then take a deep, quick breath, as quick as you can, through your nose while you put your head to the back. You will just throw it to the back like this. Okay? Then, in that position, you move your neck around and go back to the same position, and then put the head slowly back to the stable forward position while breathing out through your mouth slowly. Not even breathing out, just pushing the air from your lungs with the movement. Okay? I will show you. Okay?
Okay.
You will do this like 6 or 8 times. Of course, be careful so you don't get a headache. And trust me, you will hear that your voice sounds much lower because this whole area is more relaxed. Another tip that will help you with relaxation, take a deep breath and exhale with comfortable moaning. Like you just climbed all the stairs in Empire State Building, like this. You do this like, I don't know, 5 or 10 times, as much as you can. Even now you can hear that my voice is lower just from 2 deep breaths. But the most important thing about relaxation is stay away from things that are keeping you from being relaxed. That means never exercise before your performance or recording. Your whole body gets strained and that won't help you. But I'm not saying don't exercise at all. Exactly opposite. Work out on a regular basis. Go to the gym, exercise at home. The better shape you're in, the better control you have over your body, especially breathing. Try not to be in stress. Stress is never good for you and it's not good for try not to be in stress. Stress is never good for you and it's not good for your voice either. Also, there's one thing I have not seen anybody mention on YouTube yet. Get a beer. Of course, if you're 18 or older, or in America 21 or older. And I'm not saying get drunk, but beer has enzymes in it that will help you with the relaxation of your muscles. But really, be careful, you don't want to get relaxed too much. Tip number 4. Time and practice. Okay, this is something you will hear over and over, and I'm gonna be saying it over and over because this is the most important thing of all. Your voice changes over time, just like any other part of your body. If you're 14 and you can barely hold any note, don't worry. Keep practicing, and over time, you will get better and you will get lower. I started to pay attention to my voice around 15. It was about a year after my voice changed. And I can barely remember that my lowest note back then was E flat 2. And it sounded terrible. But I kept practicing. I joined a choir. I joined a vocal band. I started recording. And now, 6 years later, I'm pretty comfortable around C2. I have no idea what I will be able to sing, for example, in 5 or 10 years, but I will keep practicing, and for now, I will have to work with what I got, and we all have to. Do we? Tip number 5. Other vocal techniques. You all probably know by now that you can sing with other vocal techniques than just your chest voice. But for those who don't, I will explain. You use your vocal cords on a regular basis every day to talk, to sing, whatever. That regular speaking voice that we all use all the time is called chest voice. You pushing air out of your lungs through your vocal cords that are vibrating in a specific frequency, and your chest and your head functions as a resonator. As you might already figured, from there comes the naming chest voice, the primary place of the resonance. You might already heard about the other register we use quite a lot, which is called head voice. And logically, the primary place of the resonance is your head. And believe it or not, there are a lot of techniques that you can choose from. I know 12 or 13. Not all of them depend on the placement of the resonance. It also depends on which vocal cords you're using, how you're using them, combination of those factors. It's just very complex field. So you mostly use your chest voice, your head voice, or your falsetto. But those are higher registers. The same principle works for the low notes, but it's much harder to find them. I personally know 7 of them: chest voice, vocal fry, chest fry mix, growl, throat bass singing, subharmonic registers, there is multiple of them, and ingressive phonation. And yes, you guessed it, I will talk about them and help you learn how to use them and how to train them in another video. After all, this is called General Tips. What did you think? Okay guys, that's all for today. I will give you one last advice that applies to all of you and without which you just can't be a proper bass singer. Subscribe to my channel. Really, you don't want to miss the next video. No, for real guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope this video was helpful for you and you learned something new today. Thanks to all my Patreons. If you like this video and you like what I'm doing, check out the Patreon. It's a great way for everyone who wants to support me. There are great benefits and it is a huge help for me. I will try to get the next video out as fast as I can, but until then, peace be with you. Cheers guys. So if you want to learn more about it and you want to get better at it with your voice, find a music. Blah. Right now, I'm saying if you're not a professional singer, more support means blah.
Drinking